You are now listening to Talk is Cheap FM. Brought to you by Bet the Tuesday.
Talk is cheap, motherfucker. Here's the thing, man. I mentioned that I went to like a sex party type of thing, right? I didn't get involved. I just watched, right? So are there people in these communities that just fucking just want to watch and shit, and they don't want to get involved necessarily?
Of course, yeah. There are parties that are exhibitionist and voyeuristic.
Okay.
So you can have an exhibition, like some exhibitionists having some sort of interaction, some sort of sexual interaction, and there could be somebody watching. There could be groups of people watching, being voyeuristic, being voyeurs. And
voyeurs. This is new. I'm writing this down. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
And yeah, that's all great. Like, however, like, remember, like, the rules of a space, and like that the rules of a space, and more importantly of an event within a space, like, you have to make sure that you're adhering to the rules. Like, like, ask people, like, oftentimes, like, there's, like, not a chaperone, but, like, there are people who, if it's actually at a sex club, there are people who are either volunteers or employed there who are making sure that, like, the rules of the event are being observed, and that consent is being respected, and that people's safe words are being respected and whatnot.
Yeah. So people out there, you make sure, like, if you bring popcorn or whatnot, make sure it's okay. We don't want no kernels in places that there shouldn't be, right? And here's the thing, man. I don't know what I was getting myself into, right, going into this party. So let's segue into the, what is it, the poly, what is it? Polyamory. There it is, polyamory. What's that all about?
So polyamory means many loves, and
it means what?
Essentially entails that.
Wait, what does it mean?
It means many loves.
Okay, many loves.
And so it essentially entails having relationships with more than one person at a time.
Oh, like a threesome and shit.
Well, no. A threesome is an event.
Oh, shit.
That happens with three people. Like, a polyamorous group can have threesomes, but that usually isn't something that happens every day. And there can be a lot of configurations within polyamory itself. So you have let's see. You could have a situation where it is a triad. So Alice goes out with Bob, and also goes out with Charles, and Bob and Charles also go out with each other. So they're a triad.
So hold on. So Alice is going out with Bob
and
Charles, and Charles is going out with Alice and Bob is going out with Alice and Charles.
Yep.
Okay.
They're all going out with each other.
Okay. All right.
And so it's a closed triad. They're not going out with anybody else. So there's that. Or they could be like an open triad. These are their anchor people. They're anchor people to each other, but they go out with other people as well.
Shit, like that, like, okay, like almost like an open relationship, but you're a trifecta.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way of putting it. There you go. And like that's that's really cool to have that sort of. Yeah, that's one way it could go. Also, you could have it so that where Alice goes out with Bob and goes out with Charles, but Bob and Charles, they don't go out with each other. They only both go out with Alice.
Whoa, like, okay, so so one of my friends was kind of in that situation, and they were all roommates. Like, it was him, another dude, and a chick, and they were both really just going out with that one chick, like, you know, but they didn't have anything to do with each other. So would that be kind of what you're talking about too?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a triad. That's called something else. But that is a form of polyamory. Have you seen the series She's Gotta Have It, like the new Netflix series?
No, should I watch it?
Yeah, because Nola Darling in that, like, she's like the updated version of the original Nola Darling character from the 1980s movie She's Gotta Have It.
Yeah, I watched that joint. I know that joint.
Yeah. She in this, like, it's explicit that she's a polyamorous, pansexual person. So she goes out with she's a black woman who goes out with three black men, goes out with each of them separately, and also goes out with a black woman separately.
Whoa, shit. So, okay.
Yeah.
Having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah. And so...
Okay, what's a pansexual?
Pansexual means somebody who... I feel like, by the way, like, all my definitions, like, if any of my friends who are better versed in this, they're gonna come out with so many corrections. but I'm gonna try to point y'all to some good sources and some good podcasts and stuff like that, so that y'all can do your research after this. This is like a taste.
A taste test. This is like a taste test. Like whenever you go to Walmart and you have like those cooking ladies or Sam's Club and they have those cooking ladies and they say, "Listen, try this s'more." And then they try to sell you like the big one. You're just trying the little s'more part. If you want to dig in deeper, you can. This is just, because this is all new to me, bruh. So continue. Hopefully that analogy worked.
Yeah, that works. It's like you're taking little tastes and you're getting a sense of things, and you can get a bigger taste by actually doing some research based on some sources that I give y'all. But where were we? And pansexual is somebody, like, as I'm defining it, it's essentially somebody like who goes out with people of all gender identities. And to some people, it means that it's like you going out or having sex with people, like you don't really choose them. You don't have a preference in terms of like in terms of their genitals or their gender identity.
Okay. Which, by the way, like that is all new to me too, because I was doing an event for an LGB marketing. It was like a marketing event, which they brought in like. I was like doing like photography and shooting the event, but they were bringing in like high school students who are about to, or I know it was college students that were about to graduate, right? And they wanted to basically bring them all together to kind of tell them, about the being in the LGBT community and going on interviews and things like that. You know what I mean? So it was my first time going into a gender neutral bathroom. Hopefully I'm saying that shit right. And then it was also my first time hearing people say like, "Hi, my name is Boom Boom, and I like to I use him, he," and like it was I don't know. It was just all new to me, and I forgot what they would call it. But when they introduced themselves, they also let everybody know like what
their pronouns are.
Pronouns, yeah, where the pronouns were. And I was just like, yo, this shit is like, this is, you know, this is crazy.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that. That's great because it brings up gender identity. The great thing about some spaces in non-monogamy in terms of like the events and spaces you occupy and in terms of like the people you meet is that they are queer friendly, and queer as in LGBTQA plus in terms of sexuality and gender identity, and so yeah, trans women are women, trans men are men, and also like there are a lot of non-binary people. I had like a 5-6 month dating relationship with somebody who is non-binary, and they're really awesome, and yeah, like that, like I'm dating at least one non-binary person now, and yeah, like it's really cool to, I mean, not cool, it's great that we're celebrating people's identities and acknowledging them and affirming them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Like me, I'm still like adjusting to it, just to tell you the truth, because I mean this is something new, and I do have an open mind, right? And I do I do question everything. But here's my thing, right? I say, like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do as long as you're not hurting people or taking advantage of people, because I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, you know? So if, like, who am I, like, if somebody wants to say that they're a goddamn helicopter, you're I have my own stuff I got to worry about, you know what I mean? I'm picking my own battles and everything to worry about, and it just is what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not stressing. Because
there's a book that I've been meaning to read called Sex at Dawn, and it talks about how our proclivities in terms of sexuality are like they're very broad based, and like they're like there's a lot of stuff that we kind of have thrown to the wayside with our very monogamous, very Puritan society, and so yeah, it's like that's some really great food for thought.
Well, shit, send me that book. I might take a look at that shit whenever I can. I got like a whole list of books that I have to read, and I'm just like, you know what? I might just do some audiobooks and then just get it over with, man.
Right? Like when it comes to audiobooks, like I can listen to an audiobook at like 2.5 speed and like blast through it. It's so much better than,
like, for sure. Especially
using my eyes. I work at a computer all day anyways, so like I want to rest my eyes a bit, you know?
Yeah. Especially like driving and shit. Yo, I'll turn on the goddamn audiobook and I'll be good. Like I was listening, the last audiobook that I was listening to was It. You know, and I started it, I need to finish it, but I started it right before they released the new one. Just so I can catch up, because I haven't like read that in like, I couldn't tell you how long.
Yeah, that's a lot. I hear that's a lot of pages. It's like 1,100 pages or something like that. And so I don't even know how many hours that is in terms of actual reading time.
Man, I think I'm at hour 8 right now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds really involved, and yeah, like there's some really good books about good podcasts, some good books I can recommend just in general right now. So
Well, shit, you can either do it right now or just send me a message, and I can personally like look at it and just dive into them.
I'll mention a few podcasts.
Okay.
One is Polyamory Weekly. Another one is Life on the Swing Set. And so, like, they're basically what they sound like. One is more about polyamory. The other one is about swinging and things related to swinging. And yeah, those are some places to really get started. More Than Two is the book that I've been making my way through about polyamory.
Yeah.
And go to FetLife, create a profile, look at all the groups within it, and yeah, see what it has to offer. So in the kink and BDSM communities, like there are these events called munches that people have.
What the fuck is that?
Well, funnily enough, munches are like the most like innocuous like thing, like the most vanilla things usually within these communities, because a munch is essentially a meetup, and it's a meetup, and usually in a vanilla setting. Like I've been to ones in restaurants. I've been to ones in parks and stuff like that. So like your subject matter, like you might be talking about how like you like to be spanked, for example, or whatever, but like you are doing like it's a meet and greet more than anything else, and you get to build community. And there's one that where a friend of mine, she makes spaghetti, and we just all get together and talk, and it's really low key, and it's right before I go to another munch, which is like more people, and then after that, like there are other assorted events. I said assorted, not sorted, by the way. and it's good to have that community, see like what kind of people you can connect with, see with whom you can like create connections.
Yeah, and, for sure.
Speaking of connections, like it's great to I like traveling when and going to munches. So I've gone to I went to the annual Pittsburgh Kink Nick.
It was
I found it through FetLife. Like again, like you can find a lot of great stuff through FetLife. And when I was visiting Pittsburgh, and I ended up it was at this park in a suburb of Pittsburgh, and it was cool to meet people in a different setting who were into kinky things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What did you say? Tink Nick or Kink Nick?
Kink Nick.
Oh, Kink. Okay.
Like all a kinky picnic.
Oh, yeah. Like people in leather suits with gag balls, serving goddamn sandwiches and shit. Okay, I get that.
No. It was in a vanilla setting because it was in a public park. So people were in very regular attire. But like the subject matter, we were talking about different like funny things. There was like a tug of war happening. There was like some I think there was some wrestling, and then like there are people who are furries. So Pittsburgh has the largest furry conference in the country.
Oh, yo, hold on. Is furries when you dress up as a mascot and you have sex?
I mean, like it's not always wearing like a full-on fursuit. So, for example, there was somebody who happened to be a redhead who was wearing fox ears, and she was also wearing a fox tail, and so she had she was kind of showing off that furry identity that way, like in a very subtle way. And then there's also I was in Louisiana recently, and I went to an event that was I went to two talks. One was about playing with rope, so doing different sorts of rope tying up. So you tie people up in different ways, because there are people who like to be tied up, and there are people who like to tie people up. So practicing knots and things like that, practicing the safety of it, because with
you got
all
safety
this stuff,
first.
it's about safety first.
Yep.
And then the other session was about primal experiences.
Whoa, primal. What's that about? Is that you get in your inner beast and shit, and you're like, ah! And you chasing people around and shit?
Well, that's the interesting thing. From a Mile High perspective, you could say that, but there's a lot more nuance to it than that. The thing about being in a primal state is that it's a state that we have. We all have 3 layers to our brain, the human brain, the mammal brain, and then the lizard brain.
You're the second person on my podcast to talk about the lizard aspect. But continue, dude. You know what? Before you even start, listen, man, I'm growing as a person just talking to people and listening to what they have to say, because I'm getting educated on a lot of shit that I didn't know about. But continue, my brother.
So you have you have that brain stem, which is where the lizard brain is, and I forget whether it's the limbic system or not, but where you have those basic fight flight responses.
Yeah.
And so based on that, you can get into a state where you're really going with those fight or flight responses, those animal urges of fight, flight, feed, and fuck.
Yeah.
And so ideally, if you're in a primal state, you want to be. A primal state is going.
Hello? Oh shit. Hello? Oh, we lost him. Hold on, guys. Hey, were you here?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Woo, I thought I lost you.
I heard some beeping.
I thought I lost you, bro. Okay, so we stopped at the primal stage and then it was right there before you cut off. So
the primal stage, the primal state is where you go with these animal urges. So feeding, fucking, fighting, fleeing.
Oh shit.
So those are
damn.
You can ideally, because of safety purposes, you want to have somebody else who's lucid, who's supervising, and then you have and so that you can have a positive experience. Because if you're in an environment where you're in primal state and it feels hostile to you, you're going to get into fight mode or flight mode.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not productive, and people can get hurt. And so you also, you also want to make sure that people around you feel safe, because if for example, if somebody starts running, then from you, because they're scared of what they see, then they can if you're in a primal state, you can see that person as prey, and so that could go badly.
Yeah.
So
you need somebody there, like a ringmaster, like, hey, you know, like
a ref.
Yeah. Wow. I got so many questions. Okay, you said feeding, fighting, fucking, and fleeing, right? So you mean you could do some primal shit with food and everything like that, like, you know, you put food
frenzy.
Feeding for shit, like a zombie attack, like
well, sharks do that, right? But also like just having a really good time with food, you know, like, and also like having a good time with sex.
Okay, tell me this. I'm gonna open up to you, bro. I'm gonna open up to you. This is just me and you, right? Like, I was with this chick.
On the podcast.
Yeah, I was with this chick, and like I was like, man, I like we got to spice this up, right? So I was like, I usually have like syrup or the whipped cream, right? Not Cool Whip, but whipped cream in the refrigerator, and I didn't have none of that shit. So I was just like, fuck it, let me just try this. So I grabbed peanut butter, I grabbed the crunchy peanut butter, and I was like, yo, let's use this peanut butter. So I used this peanut butter on her and everything like that. Now, is that considered like that primal shit?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Like, it's because it usually involves some sort of preparation to get into a state. So some people can get into a primal state rather easily. And some people need something very specific to do. But one thing that the big story that we see is that the woman who saw her kid stuck under a car, and she was able to
lift the car,
lift the car. That's your protection mode, of protection of your kin mode that comes in on a primal level.
Okay.
What isn't said about that story is that she I think she broke her back and her some bones, some other bones besides her spine, and so on and so forth. So she didn't have her what's it called present, her human brain present to protect her from really harming herself further.
It's like getting into Super Saiyan mode. It seems like. So give me an example. Give me an example of a primal. Like, how does one prepare for a primal mode? And just give us a situation, because I just want to know the example. I need to know where the bar is at, so because I might want to try this shit. I don't know.
Well, I would say that so it really depends. Like there's so many qualifiers, right? Because like for the woman who did a demo of herself in primal state, she needed to taste somebody's, get this, she needed to taste somebody's blood.